Good morning. I guess good evening, everyone. It's not morning, is it? Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, for those of you who don't know me. And it has been some time, but tonight we are going to be talking about the Elijah Vu case. Now, for some strange reason, all of a sudden, the comments are now gone. So I don't know what's happening. Say hi in the comments. I'm going to say hi as well. There we go. Today we're going to talk about the Elijah Vu case, or tonight. Some of you may or may not have heard of this case. I'll go through it with you, the timeline, what happened. Basically, little Elijah Vu is 3 years old, or was 3 years old, I should say, and he was just recently found. So we're going to walk through it. We'll talk a little bit about it. I want to make sure to get some of the details out, of course, because obviously the details are important and it leads back to some very important timeline, I guess. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. And Luna says, come on, everyone. Let's get into it. All right, so synopsis. Elijah Vu basically first has been found, and it was just recently in September 9th, I believe, is what I've been reading, but there's some updates on the 13th and the last few days. And little 3-year-old Elijah Vu disappeared under suspicious circumstances while staying with his mom's boyfriend, Jesse Vang, in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Say that really fast. Back in February of this year. And after he was reported missing on February 20th, there was a massive search that began involving the local authorities, the FBI, and volunteers, yet no trace of this little toddler. And both the boyfriend, Jesse Vang, and Elijah's mom, Katrina Bohr, they were arrested on charges related to child neglect and obstruction of justice. And investigators focused on nearby waterways, they went to landfills, they started expanding their search, while obviously the community and Elijah's family were hoping for his safe return. Now, this population of this place, Two Rivers, Wisconsin, is only 11,000 people. So you can imagine, it seems to be small towns too, doesn't it? Not that it doesn't happen in larger towns, but it seems to be small towns. Okay, somebody says my screen, I'm frozen. Well, I'm hardwired in, so we're just going to take it like it comes. It's probably because of the full moon, I'll just say. It's okay, we're just going to run with it. And as long as you can you hear me? It's the full moon. Breathe it out, everybody. Okay, sound is great. As long as the sound is great, we'll just keep on going. I am hardwired in, and we'll just keep going. I don't know what's happening. So, basically, that's the synopsis of what happened to Elijah back in February. I'm going to get into the timeline because then we're going to get to the nitty-gritty details. So, Charles, is that you? Is he even here? No, the Gannon's right there right now, but Charles Vallow tends to come up, and there's some weird things that does happen. So let's just go through first when Elijah was found, and then I'll rewind to the details. If you guys are okay with that, I'm okay with that. And let's just pull this up, see if we can fix anything that's going on. I don't know. I'm hardwired in. Who knows what the problem is? It's been that kind of day. Here we go. So, the remains of Elijah Vu 3 found in thick wooded area after nearly 7 months missing. Now, it's interesting, and we'll get to this in a minute because there's a little detail even in this that's curious. It says on Friday, September 13th, Two Rivers Police Department's Chief Benjamin Minert confirmed the sad news during a press briefing shared on Facebook. And we can take a look at that if it's going to work on here. He was last seen, little Elijah was last seen at 8 a.m. on February 20th at an address in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. His mother, Katrina, and her boyfriend, Jesse, have been arrested and charged with child neglect, and hopefully that these charges are going to go higher depending on what they find and can trace back to mom and boyfriend. On Friday, he said that a forensic anthropologist at the state crime lab had confirmed the skull and bones found were human remains of little 3-year-old Elijah. And they were found on a private property by a person getting his land ready for the hunting season. And they confirmed that it was a thick wooded area. Now, what was interesting about this is that it was 3 miles northwest from where he was originally reported missing. And also that this was on private property, this hunter's land. And it was said that they actually searched this land several times before. So if you guys know extra details, you want to put it in there in the chat, let me know. Here's the people in question who were the last to see little Elijah. And we'll get into these antics of these people, because there's some details that you just don't wish on anybody, let alone a little 3-year-old. So here it says he added that the area had been searched several times and that the Amber Alert has now been canceled, obviously, because Elijah's been found and the family was notified. Now, I find this weird that it had already been searched. There was somewhere, and I cannot find it, but a couple days ago I had seen that Katrina apparently had some interest in this area, and she's Elijah's mom. But that would have been way back when, because from my understanding, she's still sitting her butt in jail. In fact, they have a court case coming on. We'll talk about that in a minute, or court hearing, I should say. So we're going to go through this, but basically I wanted to point that out. Let's just go back here for a sec. It is heartbreaking, absolutely. Thank you for joining me, for those of you who are here tonight. He's so cute. Take a look at this picture I pulled up. Like, he's just adorable 3-year-old little boy who didn't have a chance. Did not have a chance. Okay, let's get back here. Now, I'm going to go back to, finally, we're going to talk to about the timeline. So on February 12th of this year, Elijah's mom decides to leave him with her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from her home in Wisconsin Dells. If you know the area, let me know. You can talk about, what the area is like and let everybody know who's watching. Now, that was February 12th. Now there's some fibbing going on, because she's supposed to come pick up, the mother was supposed to pick up Elijah by the 23rd, and this is the 12th. Now, between the 12th and 20th of February, Elijah is subjected to some discipline tactics by Jesse Vang, including long-standing timeouts, teaching Elijah to pray, and threats of cold water if he misbehaves. And Elijah was also banned from his only toy there as well. It was like a little toolkit. And according to Jesse, it was a privilege for Elijah to go back to his mom, and he had to behave. So he was going to a boot camp of sorts to Jesse's house, and Katrina was okay with that. And he's 3 years old, and he was doing long-standing timeouts. Jesse decided to take a little nap. We'll get to that in a minute. But cell phone search and location data had some contradictory statements of Katrina. She fibbed. But it came out that that wasn't the first time that Elijah went to Jesse's house. Elijah went in January 2024, so the month before. And then at first Katrina's like, I didn't go there after, between the 12th and 20th. I just dropped him off. But then it came out the 16th she was there, the 14th she was there, and she said she saw Elijah, but he was tired. And so there's a lot of lies going on. Now, the cops bust her for that, and that's where she gets charged with obstruction. February 17th, so now this is 5 days after Elijah arrives at Jesse's. Jesse tells Katrina that Elijah overfilled his diaper and gives him a cold shower as a punishment. And Katrina tells the detective that Jesse is the enforcer in this relationship, and she's okay with it. Now, February 19th, Jesse admits that, he's had three beer and some pills to sleep, and he locked the doors, and, Elijah was just safe and sound inside. But later on in the investigation, the authorities are like, I want to see that night on February 19th, there's a car in question. I want to find out if there's any information. So they say, there's a Nissan Altima. I want to know some information. If anybody has information, let us know. The next day on February 20th, that is when Jesse says he gets up and gives Elijah breakfast, talks about it sounds like mini wheats, but frosted cereal on one side, dry with no milk to a 3-year-old. Yeah, I think that's the first lie, but that's my opinion, or one of that. Is it still frozen, you guys? Like, how annoying is that? I don't know why it's frozen. I just have no idea. But we're just gonna blame it on the full moon. So maybe I should start doing my special voice and be like, hello, tonight we're gonna get into a crime story, so it's just gonna be voice and no video. Anyways, back to the story. I have no idea why it's doing this. It's a brand new computer, and it could be just the stream or the full moon. You like my podcast time. Okay, so we're back to this. So February 20th, this is the day that Elijah was reported missing. And Jesse gets up, gives Elijah breakfast, according to him, and he says he's given cereal without milk to a 3-year-old, which happens to be frosted cereal on one side, which makes me think mini wheats. It's like, yeah, right, little kid at 3 years old. Who eats dry cereal as a 3-year-old with that? I can see Cheerios, but definitely not mini wheats. Now, he then says that was at 7:30. At 8 a.m., Elijah's told to stand at the foot of his bed and pray while he takes a nap for 3 hours long. And he says he locks the door. And then all of a sudden, Elijah's gone. He wakes up, no sign of Elijah, and he phones the police. And he phones them at 11 o'clock, saying Elijah's gone. And by 1:30, the police issue an appeal for help to find Elijah, while the Amber Alert also goes out to the local community. And Elijah's described as a little 3-foot-tall little boy with brown eyes and hair, and he's wearing gray sweatpants, a dark-colored long-sleeve shirt, and red and green dinosaur slip-on shoes. Now, notable, they found one of the shoes that they believed one of the shoes I covered in one of my previous videos, and said he may have been carrying a red and white plaid blanket. Now, I think I read that they found the blanket just recently, but which is weird because they said they found it a long time ago. So I don't know if that's just reporting or what it is. Do I have a storm moving in? Possibly, but we know it's not Chad's storm. Oh, Lordy. Okay, we gotta laugh, right? We just gotta laugh because this is what happens. I have no idea why it's low quality video. I don't know today. Now, autopsy haven't heard of yet. However, where are we at? So we were at February 20th, right? And police issued the appeal. They're asking locals to go check out outbuildings, vehicles, anywhere where Elijah could be trapped or hidden. And they put out that Amber Alert, and then Jesse is actually arrested on suspicion of child neglect that evening. And then the next day, Katrina, the mother, is arrested on suspicion of being party to a crime, child neglect, and 2 counts of obstructing an officer. Now, also, I remember in one of my videos, I talked about that Katrina made a little visit to see Jesse, and it was like the middle of the night type thing. The kids were in the car, and she just went, basically, it was a booty call. We'll have to look at some of my other videos. I did a few videos on this back in February. So now, not even a few days later, that's when the authorities come out and say, we're going to go and look at a local landfill site. They're starting to expand. They're going to Wisconsin Dells, and which is a couple hours away from this Two Rivers, and they don't know what the heck is happening. They put out, the FBI announces a $15,000 reward, and they check waterways. They have drones. They have dogs. And basically, this guy, Jesse, has a history of doing time. He was doing 6 years in prison for distribution of meth. So, that's quite the boyfriend. And he thinks it's okay to basically punish a 3-year-old. And he said he only changed the kid's diaper once a day. How many of you know 3-year-olds, whether you're a grandparent or a mother, how many 3-year-olds only go once a day? So there's a lot going on there. The shoe was found. I heard that or read that Katrina was interested in that area. They first said that the area that Elijah was found in wasn't the true area. So there is some weird, weird things going on. But I think it's going to lead right back to the mother and the boyfriend. And they were completely fine with these terrible punishments, and that's only what we know. We don't even know what we don't know, Like, he was okay with punishing him and putting him in a corner and making him pray and giving him these terrible showers that are cold and whatnot. So it's sad. I'm glad that they found him. Obviously, not the way it was, we would hope. I'm curious if he was found with the clothes that he was reported in. I'm going to have a feeling and say no. Tell me what you think. But how are you guys doing? Are you seeing me still frozen? Because that's super, super annoying that it's frozen. Maybe if I get rid of some of this, it'll be better. How are we doing? Yes. A lot of people just don't deserve kids. Agree. Is it still blurry, you guys? Hang on. I'm going to check what's going on. Because it should be like 1080. Is that better? I don't know what they're doing. They were upgrading something. Audio. How's that, you guys? Is it better? ASMR typing. I'm still frozen. Whatever. I don't know. Audio's 1080, video's 144. I don't know what's going on. I've never had a problem with the program that I use, but maybe because they were upgrading stuff, having issues. Well, I guess video blurred background. I don't know. Well, I can see my grays. We got that. We got that high definition. Hey Colby, how's it going? Try refreshing your stream service if possible. I know StreamYard should allow you to disable the camera and re-enable. Okay, 1 second. Back. Never had a problem till today. Okay, maybe this is gonna... Sorry, guys. It's too bad. Never had this problem before. Wait a minute. Well, I can see myself okay, so it's not like the camera's blurry, but let's just wipe the camera. And let's have some laughs. I don't know. I don't know. Now, see how my hands are up like this? And I have my hands on my head? This is very Chris Watts. This is the frustration, I guess frustration stance, and like I give up maybe, or just like, oh man, I need to bring my blood pressure low. That's what it is. I got to bring my blood pressure low. So just like Chris Watts, he brought his blood pressure lower by putting his hands on his heads. So now this is what I feel. Right now I have my hands on my head, my elbows are up in the air. And I am so frustrated. But, you know, maybe you guys can ask some questions and I can answer them. And we'll just pretend that this is just an audio podcast and before I snap my crayons. So, ask away some questions. It's been a while. And I guess it can't be smooth for me, especially today. And yeah. I've been here. I have been here. I've been working. I've been creating videos. And I have the same layout as I normally do, but I don't know what happened. Well, at least I wonder what the frozen picture looks like because, we can just screenshot that and have a good laugh. All right, ask some questions. We'll just go through that. And if this stream doesn't work, it doesn't work. I do my best and I'll have to do one again. But I wanted to talk to you guys about little Elijah. Um, 3-year-old. It doesn't look good when a 3-year-old's gone, even just more than a day. Can't. I mean, the longer the time goes, the worse it gets. And I think right from the beginning, we suspected some things, especially with what we were hearing about it. Kayla says, just seems very Casey Anthony, one crazy story after another. Yeah, I want to see what the charges are going to be, what's going to happen with the autopsy. It's been a while. It's been 7 months. They said they found his skull and bones, is what they said, is what I read. And Katrina, his mom, is supposed to be in court October 22nd for a status conference, and Jesse has a status conference on September 27th, which is in 10 days. But now we got to see if there's upgraded charges or what happened. But I haven't seen if there's any upgraded charges yet. Obviously, they did confirm it was Elijah, which is important because sometimes there's chitter chatter and then there's not a positive identification. So they did confirm that it is Elijah and that he was found on a private property that the owner was prepping the land for hunting. Not sure what you do to prep the land to hunt, but that's what it was reported. And then found Elijah. But what was weird is that that's been searched before. So if they were arrested right after, which they were, right after Elijah went missing, then how did his remains end up there if they had already searched, is the question. My Chris Watts is so much prettier. Oh, thank you. That's funny, Luke. It's nice to see you. My DNA is too many places, but not in a criminal way. Colleen says, "Is it true that people in jail take care of child torturers?" I don't think that's true. I think it is true. I've learned some stories of where that has happened, and there was a guy in Canada. I want to say this would have been maybe 20 years ago, maybe even longer. Maybe it was 30 years ago. And it was in Canada, and there was a case where a baby was killed, and the guy went to prison, but then the guards looked the other way, and the guy ended up in a wheelchair. So that happened. I think Linda froze giving the finger. This is what they're reporting, that this area had already been searched. Now, they didn't go into too much details, so I don't know. When are the next live trial? There should be a trial coming up for Sarah Boone. Have you been watching the Sarah Boone case? I've done a couple videos now on it. Sarah Boone's coming up in a couple weeks. And I believe I haven't caught up on Delphi, but I know that's supposed to be coming up in October, unless that's a schmozzle and not. But I don't know if he was under bushes. I didn't read that, only that he was in the area. is what I have read, but maybe there's more that's come out. He was found, nice to see you, Russell. Was he found close to home? He was found just over 3 miles from where he went missing, which is interesting because that's in and around, I think it was 2.7 miles where the blanket was found, but that was in, I want to say, like a few months after he was missing, or not even. So it's kind of weird. Another Justin situation. Yeah, I've been thinking about Justin for a lot, and I got a comment from someone who knows Lucas, the neighbor. So hopefully they'll get my comment back and will message me. Here we go. Child killers are considered the lowest form of life in both men and women's prisons. They are often taken care of by other inmates, as long as they're not protected, I guess. Sinful Solution says, I can't wait for Boone Gotta Be Wild. That is going to be wild. I was going to do another live stream on that. Maybe we'll do that. So, oh, that's nice, Laura. Thank you for watching. Yes, found within 3 miles, but then it was the blanket that also was, and there was a little bit of weirdness around that, and that there was some dinosaur shoes found. But Linda is not frozen. She's just practicing staying still and talking. Oh, yeah, it was about, okay, Amy, that's what I thought. It was I kept thinking March or May, one of the two. I did put that in one of my videos, and I think I did a short on it, that his blanket was found. I'm pretty sure I did a YouTube short on that. Now we're back to the Sarah Boone case, talking about Sarah and her attorney were yelling at each other in a room of the jail, and they told her to stop yelling. Yes. Then they were going to tell her if she wanted to fill out a form and file a complaint on that. That I just did a few days ago on that video. That's right. Picton was taken care of in prison. I don't think anyone's too upset. Yeah, certainly not I. Yeah, Boone is going to be a weird case. It will be a weird case. It'll be like a little bit of Letitia, a little bit of Lori. She's going to be wearing a stun cuff. And for those of you who don't know the Sarah Boone case, Sarah's the woman who is accused of murdering her boyfriend and having him in a suitcase and just playing hide and seek, and that he died in there while she was recording him, and has 2 recordings on her phone of basically torturing him and laughing while he died in the suitcase. So she's gone through 8 lawyers, and she's found a 9th, and he is a very interesting character. I think between the two, it should be a very interesting trial. They want more time because he's just getting on the case, but the judge is like, too bad. Like, you guys are starting, you have to start. Like, that's it. So, am I going to touch Diddy's mess? Probably not. I've only done a celebrity video, I feel like, only once. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. You just let me know if you would or not. I could try it. However, sometimes it crosses certain borders that I might not want to go into. Um, Kayla says, I think the animals are maybe a road crew mowing or trash collecting, or utility workers might have disturbed their remains and brought them out. Could be. It could be. All I need to know about Diddy is that he's locked up or worse. Yeah, wow. Well, he's getting in some trouble now, so it'll be interesting though how it will unfold the web of others. This is my question, Lady Hawk. Nice to see you. Who moved Elijah's remains? Weren't both adults in jail? They were both in jail. One of the reports, I think this was last week's, that I read that Katrina had interest in that area earlier, but that would have been earlier, like, because they both got arrested on that evening, the next day, even after the report of him missing. So I don't know, but maybe it's a case where it was longer grass or whatnot. They said they searched the area, but again, if you guys remember the Justin Evans case, they searched the area and Justin was found 5 months later in the pond. And he is a case, his case is still not brought to justice. And so if you haven't seen my videos on that case, please go back. Now, here's one of my obstacles right now. I had to get a new computer very recently because my old computer went for a little thunderstorm shower, let's just say. And it wiped out all my information, and I had an entire file, entire hard drive filled with information, and part of it was a lot of Justin Evans information. And so I would like to dip into a little bit, but I'm missing a few things. So we might have to be on, maybe a group of us can track down some information if possible, and then I can attack that case again. Oh, hello, Maui girl. Nice to see you. Especially if it was along a fence line in a roadway. I want to see where they were found on the property. Yeah, I haven't seen the map yet as to where. I can't find that info yet, but that might come out. Colleen says, I heard there would snow at the time. That makes sense to me in February. Yep, that happens too. Here's a possible answer to your computer problem article online today. Severe G4 level solar storm just hit Earth. Aurora expect in southern U.S. Well, last night people were posting at around 9 o'clock about the lights up here in Canada. Yeah, I'm blaming it on the moon or whatever. Blame it on the weather. Agree. Well, here's the interesting thing. So I contacted Mac because I had a MacBook Pro, and they wanted to charge me $2,500 to look at my computer and even may not be able to retrieve anything. So for the same price, I could get a brand new computer, and I don't have an extra $2,500 to rescue a non-rescuable. There was a lot of water, guys. Like, I never leave my computer outside, and for some reason I had a really bad headache that day, and I thought it was inside, and it went for a very long couple hour thunderstorm shower, and I could go like this, and it soaked 2 tea towels. So there's that. So I'm gonna try and find a couple things. Not that I need to find a lot of information. I mean, I had a lot, but there's a couple things that I would want to know, like just a few things. So thank you. Nice to see you again. Thank you. Oh, ask your kids if they know a tech kid. My kid had a tech kid in their ages, and he fixed all things. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, my son's pretty good at that, but yeah, I think it's done. I really do. So it's okay. I do have a new laptop now. I have a MacBook Air. I didn't go to the Pro, but the camera is supposed to be better than the last one, and I don't know what's going on. So I'll just keep coming on and keep doing live streams, and then we'll go from there. Hello, Mel. Nice to see you too. Look at all you guys. Love to see familiar people. It's so nice. Big hug. Hopefully, I'll get it figured out. We'll just keep doing live streams and then it'll be okay. Now, what is the case you are currently following or really want to know information on? I know the Diddy thing is big coming out. Was it today and yesterday? Or the day all ran in together? I'm not sure. Yeah, no blur filter. I don't know what the heck happened. I have been on a live stream with this computer before, so I'm not too sure. Maddie Soto. All of you guys are doing Maddie Soto. Interesting. I feel like there's so much to unpack there. I'm not sure. You guys are all on Maddie Soto. Okay. Interesting. What part of it right now are you looking at in that case? Yeah, my connection's unstable. So are some other ones. Yeah. Please read out the comments. Okay. Your last live was on your new computer and it was clear, so it's probably a StreamYard thing. I've seen others with issues. I had a notice today when I was setting this up that they are upgrading the packages and whatever, so I don't know if that's part of it. But at the end of the stream, usually it'll say, "How was the live stream?" And then I can just do the big thumbs down that it sucked. Because it wasn't how it's supposed to be. Terry says that mama had to have known more. Agree 100%. I think she's going to be in a lot of trouble. Colleen says guilty mother. Heather Feather says we all think mom should be charged. Agree. Deborah says is Delphi closed court? Yes, there's not going to be video. I don't know if Sarah Boone's. I think it's going to be okay for cameras. Mel Stiller says, I've been watching all the interviews, Linda. Interesting. Well, I want her mom to be charged. Police interviews of Stefan and Jen. Yeah, when I first saw him, that was weird. I didn't dive into the case, though. I should have. I love that you cover a lot of cases of males as they get the least mainstream media and social media attention. I do my best for the boys. I do. Maybe turn your broadband off for 10 minutes and your laptop too. I know. Hey, that I gotta figure it out. Just do a couple test runs after. We'll just suck it up tonight. But it does say that my Wi-Fi is unstable, which is so weird because I'm plugged into the router, so it shouldn't be that way. I don't know what's happening. Vivian says, Madeline's mom, something's not right with her. Russell says, I'm always on the lookout for Summer Wells info. That one really sends me into the orbit, not that they all don't. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a few years. Now, I started in 2019, November of 2019, I started this channel, and I guess I will be heading to my 5-year anniversary, which is crazy. And Summer Wells, I think, was from 2020 or 2021. It's been 3 years, I believe, for Summer. Purple Petal says they all want to know if Jen Soto was involved, and yet it doesn't matter. Her abuser is arrested, and if she gets arrested, most of us would expect that. Interesting. Lady Hawk says still waiting for Bear Bear. We are too. Now I was told that Linda Stanley was disbarred. There's Charles. Say hi to Charles. Popping up. Koberger has venue change. I read that. They really need Lindsay Blake and Rob Woods to prosecute. I would love to have them on. Okay, you're still waiting to see Summer Wells. Is there any Barry news? Only about Linda Stanley, but nothing on Barry. You're welcome. I know sometimes I'm reading it, and thank you for the reminder. I get a little bit involved, and then I'm going, oh yeah, I got to read them. So thank you for the reminder. Suitcase Sarah is creepy. Scott discussed Linda Stanley tonight on the live. Okay. Yeah, she was in trouble. Good question. Kayla says, I'm interested to see if either of Elijah's mom or her boyfriend knew the property owner. I want to see more about that, about her being interested in that property. And I don't know where I read that. It was a part of the news. I think that was last week when he first was found, but I haven't read anything else that talked about Katrina being interested in that. But I know I read it. So there's a few coming up. And there's also Corey Richens just had her preliminary hearing. Put comment or question in caps and then write. That would make Linda's life easier. Well, I love being with you guys. I know it's hard because sometimes we're talking about one case and then there's a delay when the comments come up. So then when I'm reading it, I don't know which case we're talking about. Make sure just to say that too. Coffee Girl says, Long Island serial killer and the thought of his daughter knowing what was going on. Yeah. And there was something that had to do with her paintings or art. There was some weird stuff going on. It's been a while since I've covered that case. Seemed like whenever I put a video on that case, a lot of the viewers weren't that into the case, more so other cases that I was covering. Ah, Amy, Katrina used to live across the road from where the body was found. That was interesting. Didn't know that little piece of information. What is the name of the mom that used the exercise bands on her children? I did that one. She was in my Google search video. That's gonna bug me. Lindsay Clancy. I put that in my Google search video. Yeah. Russell says now they are looking at an Asian male in Long Island case. Is that the one that they found along the beach? Yeah. It's hard to cover kids on these videos. It's never easy. It's never easy with anybody. The kids are it, it's getting harder for me to cover these cases with the children, and some, not all, but some, I see videos being done, and I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so nice to see you, all of you. Thanks for joining. There's a few now that still have been, I was thinking about this with all the different cases that I've covered on my channel, and there's still missing people. They still haven't been found, and we're going on 5 years. Um, a lot have been found. A lot of the victims have been found. A lot of them are still going, just starting to go to the trial process, and a lot of them are still missing. Thanks for being here. No, I didn't. Did you see Nate Eaton on Vinny's live regarding Shallow Vallow? Interesting revelations. No, I invited Nate on the show back in May or June. I think it was June. Might have been June after everything was done, but I hadn't heard back. I sent a follow up this week though, just to touch base because I'm sure he's a busy guy. What was the revelations? I'd love to hear some of them if you want to share in here. Amy says, I've been following this case since Elijah went missing. I live 15 minutes from Two Rivers. Wow, this has weighed on everyone's heart in this town. I bet. It's interesting because I believe you, yeah, Amy, you just mentioned about Katrina living right near there. Yeah, it's such a little small town, and with 11,000 people, or 11, just over 11,000, a lot of people know a lot of people, and you know, when somebody's found and is a little kid, hard not to say, okay, well, that was Elijah, but they did confirm it was Elijah. Yeah, Summer Wells has not been found yet. That one bugs me too. Deborah says, wasn't Justin half in and half out of the lake? Um, he was at the edge of the pond, which is so interesting because for 5 months he supposedly was in there, and I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I think he was moved. I'm fairly confident he was moved. But cops say otherwise, and there's no justice for him. There's some weird things happening, and I've been thinking a lot about his case again, to start to maybe deciphering, or not deciphering, but breaking down the things that I wanted to break down before and didn't get to. And I feel like we're approaching another anniversary and there's no justice for him. So I feel like maybe to open that can of whoop ass again and dig in a little bit more. I don't know. Kavita says, however, most people think being a blackout drunk means the person just passes out. No, I learned you can function and do things, but you don't have any recall. Sarah could have been in a blackout. Could have. She did say she said she only drank a bottle, right? Not even. But then they found other stuff, if I remember correctly. Now, did you watch my Ryan Shtuka case? I'm just noticing your message to Mel, and you guys are talking about Summer Wells. But the reason why I mentioned Ryan is because I was talking about the 411 missing case with Ryan Shtuka, who is a young man went missing in British Columbia, Canada on a ski hill. And there's some weirdness to that too. Something that Zulema said would love to know. Is it about the gift basket that we've been wondering for years? Colleen says there were so many volunteers searching for Elijah. Agree, Justin was moved 100%. Agree, he was moved. Russell says, I watched a 10-hour interrogation on that woman that had an affair with her pastor. He killed her husband. I didn't realize it was 10 hours long until it was too late to stop watching. He got sucked in, right? I think that with the terrain, as crazy it is, that Summer unfortunately just wandered with the dogs and got hurt, lost, and searchers couldn't get close to her and find her. I think there is a little bit more sinister stuff than that, in my opinion, with the Summer case. Terry says, I don't believe Summer just wandered off. The window was so small, I guess it's a possibility, but I personally highly doubt it. We know nothing about Ryan's case. Well, you guys gotta watch Ryan Shtuka case. I have a YouTube short on it. I also have a video on it. So I think it's a half an hour long. And I dive into some things, and there's some weird stuff there. So first, I'll give you guys the playlist for Elijah, because there's some, details you might want to look at. So this is Elijah Vu case right there. And then Ryan, this is such an interesting case, and I had the weirdest thing happen. And this little guy is from the Ryan Shtuka case. I gotta go put him somewhere now that he's been sitting for a little bit. I gotta pay it forward. And so here's the Ryan Shtuka case. A young guy, and he moved from Alberta to British Columbia, went to go work on the ski hill, went out one night with his buddies, and they went to a silent rave, or it's a silent disco party basically, and you're listening to headphones, and you're listening to music through them, and then you don't get in trouble so much with the neighbors for being loud. And after that, they went to a house party. And after that, there's no Ryan. Ryan's just missing. He's gone. And there was so much snow. The guys that were with them, the friends, said that we were at a party. We left. We turned around, and Ryan's just not there. And he has been missing ever since. And his mom goes back to the area all the time, several times a year, is my understanding. And they created these little dinosaurs to raise awareness for Ryan. You can see him right there. And he's only 20 years old. And so you can scan this, and it brings you to the website of what happened to Ryan. And he's just a Canadian boy who went to go work on the ski hill, and now he's nowhere to be found. And so this is called the little Shtukasaurus, and it spreads awareness. And the coolest thing is they have, let me see if I can show you like a map of the all those green points is so cool. Look at that. Around the world where these Shtukasauruses have been traveling to. And then people will find it. And so I found this guy while I was having dinner with my sister. And I was just talking about picking up a case that I'm really passionate about that I would like to, you know, help in some way. And then my sister just left the restaurant. She came back and she goes, here's the case you should work on. And I knew right away what this was about, fellow Canadian. And I just went, oh my gosh, I know this story. And so I picked him up and we went and we drove. And the weirdest thing happened after dinner is I'm driving in this one parking lot, and the weirdest thing, I saw a snowy owl like sitting in the parking lot, which is so weird. I think I've lived in this area off and on in Alberta since 1996. I moved. And so I think I've seen a snowy owl like 3 times in how many years is that? It's almost 30 years. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's scary. And so it was really bizarre that I see this snowy owl and I was trying to get my sister to take a picture of it and it just flew away, but it flew like this. It like spread its wings sideways and then flew off. It was the most bizarre thing. And then I was obviously looking up like, what does that mean? And it was like to uncover hidden truths. So it got real creepy real quick. And earlier that day I had been talking about my sister was saying, oh, I want to go to Drumheller, which is a museum a couple hours away from here, not even. And it has a dinosaur museum, and that's where they find all the dinosaurs in Alberta, a lot of them. And that was the lead up to dinner time. Like, I didn't even know. And I was folding dinosaur pajamas while I was talking to my sister. And then we went for dinner and there's another freaking dinosaur. It was just so weird. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Ryan's case. I gotta cover it. And so now now that I've done some videos on him, what I'll do is sorry guys, I'll take him to another spot and I'll put him somewhere and somebody else can pick him up and spread the word, and maybe the right person will pick up the dinosaur and remember something or know something or something that will help find him and bring him home to his parents. They know it's going to be a recovery, or they feel that. So yeah. I watched an extensive deep dive, something around 8 hours long on Summer Wells. There's just no way it wasn't the mother in some way. Interesting, Terry. Have you seen my series also on Summer, where I do timelines and that kind of dives? I recommend it if you haven't seen that. Amy says, I saw the video you did. Really odd. It's so odd, right? Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Sue. Yes, people don't just evaporate, 100%. Yeah, isn't that crazy how many push pins there are? I think it's quite fascinating. What a great idea to create something that spreads the word. And there's constantly pictures of people picking up the little dinosaur and then putting him somewhere else. So I'm going to take him on a little tour. I wonder if I should go, maybe I should go to Lethbridge, which is where Marshall Owasso was missing. Remember Marshall's case? He went missing. I think that's going to be now, I think he's going on 6 years, 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7. And, or maybe that's too long. I get a little mixed up now when the years start going together with how many cases I've covered. But he went missing just south of Calgary in Canada, in Alberta, Canada, and then his vehicle was found 12, 13 hours away, abandoned in a logging road. And there's been other cases where cars have been burnt and abandoned on a logging road, and in and around that area is also Ryan's case. And so this 411, missing 411 from David Paulides, he's talking about, when people go missing, there's some weird things sometimes happening, like it's storming that night, or there's no trace of them, or they are found, but it's like the same spots that they already had investigated. There's some really weird things. I'm not in BC. I'm in Alberta, but I grew up in BC. Owl is a great omen. It brings message of resolution. This was the craziest thing, the snowy owl. Yeah, she did sound. I agree, Kavita. She did sound like she was quite inebriated. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, check out Summer. I did quite a few on that as well. If you guys, if it's helpful when I find you my playlists. Looks like there's 10. Some of them might be live streams as well. Victoria, nice to see you. Full moon plus eclipse in the process. You see? Today. It's one of those days. Yeah, so there's two different, what's the word I'm looking for? Details. Is like one of them's like, well, they shared a bottle of wine, and then there was like, but they found other bottles of wine, and then she sounded like she was slurring that night. But at the same time, I don't know. They are trying to do the battered spouse defense. It's going to be interesting. And I find I don't know if you guys saw his interview with the new lawyer, James Owens, but it's very interesting. April says, off topic, so I understand if you skip for now. I'm just wondering if you heard about the man who did a TikTok saying he thinks his grandpa was the Zodiac killer, Richard Hoffman, California police officer. I feel like I might have heard or saw a split second of it. Maybe I heard it, but I haven't seen all of it. I really like TikTok. I would like to do TikTok. I only have a couple videos on TikTok. I need to learn how to do it. And I should learn if I can scroll and see it. But Mel says, are you still talking about Sarah Boone? We're kind of teetering on a couple few things. Oh, I can hardly wait to see if her lawyer's going to come out with her Boonerisms. I think they are a match well made. It, I just feel like they're both equally bizarre. And I think it'll be interesting. She's going to have a stun cuff on her, and if she makes a wrong move, she's going to get 50,000 volts, which is interesting. And I think the lawyer is a different kind of a cat. Don't you? Good point. Colleen says, I can't see Sarah as a victim of anything but her own behavior. Let me give you the Sarah Boone case that I did, if just in case you have not seen it. I've done, is that only two? I thought I did another one. Yeah, I have a crucial facts about the Sarah Boone case that you need to know, and Sarah Boone's ninth lawyer, and I talk about all the shenanigans on that. No way. Marisa says, I heard a couple different lawyers say they have seen those stun cuffs go off by accident because the bailiff moved wrong. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Colby says, very interested to see how the Boone trial plays out. I think it'll be interesting. I think Corey Richins will be interesting too, but that's not going to be for a while. Russell says her lawyer's going to try to say the investigators botched things up at the apartment. Interesting. Yeah, and her ex, Sarah Boone called her ex husband first, then came over, then phoned 911, and the 911 call sounded very reminiscent of like Alex Cox when he phoned for Charles and he didn't care. It was very similar. Like she just didn't, she's like, yeah, boyfriend's dead. Like, matter of fact. And then she was starting to try and freak out. Sometimes I need to catch up too, Victoria. Same thing. Yes, her attorney is off. He has to be. He took on Miss Crazy. I think this was the most interesting thing. And her Sarah Boone put the ad out, and it sounded like a QVC commercial. And he answered it, and he said that he watches true crime on YouTube. So that was interesting in itself. I did a little hello in the video. Wonder if he'd say hi. Yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm behind 90 cases. She was still half toasted on the 911 call. The ad was hilarious, wasn't it? It was so weird. Like, let me read it. Oh, am I out of order? Called the ex, then had a cigarette. She really wanted to finish her smokes. I'm sorry. She called the ex, then needed the cigarette, then also he came, then she called, and then she decided that she was going to sleep in and then thought he was downstairs applying for a job, is what she said. It's funny, but not funny because it's just ridiculous. It's like gives vibes of Letitia. Yeah, like right for just 3 installments of $29.95. I'll be your lawyer. Okay, I gotta read this ad because it's just so weird. If you guys haven't heard it, you're gonna get a good kick out of it, and then you can take a listen to my video. And I go through some interesting details, of course. I have so much stuff on Sarah. Well, I shouldn't say so much, but enough. And it's a handwritten. Oh, look at that. I'm top of Google on that, you guys. My video is up there. Whew. This is a good day. Okay. That hasn't happened in a long time. See if I can share this, and this way you guys can see the beautiful handiwork. I think this is interesting. There we go. Inmate seeks attorney. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Ready for your close-up on national television? Are you zealous with a side of keen? Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, and confident ingenuity. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion driven, open minded, exceptional problem solving skills, client inclusion at all times, team orientation, collaboration, extreme efficiency in listening, communicating, understanding, dedication to success, possessing a winning mindset, capability of excellence in representation, committed, and maintaining faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently, overcome all circumstances. And it says epic opportunity awaits. Gives Sarah Boone and her number, and says invest in the oppressed and believe. And I just find it so freaking interesting. And her attorney is just like that interesting too. So very interesting. If you watch one 10-hour interrogation, you are behind for life. I agree. I understand. I understand. Her ad reminded me of those personal ads in newspapers for a partner. Yeah, but it's almost like, like you have next up, this is the beautiful handy mop that, you're like, for $29.95, you can get this. Are you sick and tired of cleaning all day? Says the woman who recorded herself, right? I told you, it's the little bit of cray cray for sure. Thank you, Purple Puddles. Thank you for the super sticker. Oh, good grief. Adverts from someone who has watched way too many after midnight paid commercials. That's what I mean. It sounds like QVC. I think that's what you guys call it in the States, right? Hello, Tammy. It's so a tacky personal ad like female seeks male, must love coffee, true crime, and enjoying doing everything I demand. Serve me coffee in bed tomorrow. Well, this is the funny thing because he does this interview and he's like, yeah, I watch true crime on YouTube, and so I just thought, I would answer this ad and help Sarah out. And he goes to the hearing, and the judge says, well, you're doing this pro bono work, and he doesn't say anything that he's not. But in the interview, he says that he's not doing pro bono and that he is has been retained and Sarah's paying. So it's very interesting. Um, Linda, when you get a minute, check Vinny's link. Nate suspects Alex Cox attempted to kill Zulema but failed. Oh, would that be when um Alex massaged Zulema with the plastic on the bed? Is what I would think was the attempt. Sarah Boone is charged with murdering her boyfriend in a suitcase, but she said, you know what? Like they were just playing hide and seek. But I don't know about you. Um, but when you play hide and seek, the person shouldn't know where the person's hiding. So there's that. I don't know. Can you believe her? Oh my lord, this is like her eighth attorney. This is her ninth attorney. Their eight already failed. She's on number nine. Lucky number nine. That's funny, macrograms. I enjoy long walks on the beach and beating murder charges. Yeah, the spin mop. And that's not all. The sham wow. I have a family member who knows a girl who visits Aruba, and her name is ShamWow. They call her ShamWow. I don't know the whole story. I just know they call her ShamWow. I don't know why. Oh, I love you guys. Are so funny. Every frozen Linda looks beautiful. I look like the Scream mask. No, I'm sure I do not look beautiful frozen. I wish Pastor J.P. Miller case was heavily being covered. That I think that was covered by several people, wasn't it? When it was that was Michael Miller, right? When it first came up. Gail says, Linda, will you be investigating the Karen Reed second trial? I don't know. I feel so behind because it's so much information. You guys are so super smart. And when I start a case and it's already started, I've missed so much and people let me know. So maybe I will. Maybe if there's an angle that I can start with. Yeah, Sarah Boone's on number 9. Yeah, that video she filmed, she definitely knew where he was hiding. Agree. Did poor George also zip himself shut in the suitcase? And nope, she did that. I'm laughing so much I'm in tears. Needed that today. I think we all do today. But today was a little bit of a weird one, wasn't it? So many trials, so little time. I agree. Sorry, I don't mean to cough in your ear. If you cover Karen Reed 2.0, we need a what if any counter for um, who, if anyone, was driving the ambulance nearly killed me. Okay, I don't know. I have to go through that. Whew. We need a group just to keep up with all the info, don't we? Hello, Ellie. Nice to see you from Virginia. Hello. I need weird. I welcome weird. I do welcome weird too. Weird is good. We have to see Sarah Boone's trial. We got to do that together. We have to. Because I think that's going to be a whole other level. It'll be like Lori and Letitia slash you know. We need an new emoji. Okay, what are your thoughts if we need a new emoji? What should it be? For Sarah's or just in general? Mel says that's one trial I don't want to miss. Yeah, there's that. What else do we have then? Really? That for sure is coming up in the next couple weeks. I think it was October 7th. So I got to make sure that I can cover it. A broken crayon. I feel like I had a broken crayon in there. Snap my crayons. We have a couple good ones if you guys want to put it and show others what the emojis look like, especially did I take that down? The one emoji? Probably. We had for John Pryor because that was pretty sweet. Well, then we have Chad Tato. It's been a while. I needed to make a Sarah Boone one. I do. Don't know how that's going to look yet, but I welcome suggestions. A suitcase, I know, I just had to forgive me. A little shock cuff would be nice. Don't know what you were responding to. Read the comment. I'm not too sure. Remember Chad Tato? A wine bottle or a want ad with bars. Sarah Boone does have a very big um, range of faces. Am I going to cover Lori's second murder trial as well? 100,000%. 100,000%. I will. Is it cold there? No. It's actually it got warm up to 50. It would have been 70 here today, Fahrenheit, but it starts off like what, it was like 30 this morning. Ah, you guys are there you go. All the emojis are coming out. I would love to take a crack at Sarah Boone's behavior. Just myself to take a crack at it. I know the professionals do, but every once in a while I like to try it myself and break it down. Colleen says, who could forget Chad Tato? $70 is the perfect temperature. That's great weather for Alberta, Linda. It is, but only a couple more weeks, and then we're probably going to see snow pretty soon in the next few weeks. And I'm not ready for that. Victoria says, I kind of miss old John Mito. Yeah. Tammy gets to be warm in Louisiana. Bubble says, hi, Sunshine. I'm putting different whatnots and knickknacks in my kitchen. I just got a brand new refrigerator after 18 years. Nice. Very first new one. Nice. It's the best getting a new refrigerator. The John Pryor one is hilarious. Says John Mado. I might not have John Mado on this computer because I made it before my computer died. So you guys can always put John Mado in the comments. I know, but it's coming. I know, I don't want it. I don't like snow either. And it's going to be cold. And another winter on my own. No, Snappy Dragon says, I love that. Winter's my favorite season. I hate being cold because it gets to minus 45. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that. But minus 45 is like if you put yourself in the freezer and then put the freezer in a freezer. That's what it's like. It's going to be storming. Minus 45 sucks. I cried last year in the snow. I'm not going to lie. Minus 45. I had to plug my car in. And that's a thing. And it didn't reach the house. The plug couldn't reach the house. So then I had to go around back, and then I had to plug it in, but I had to shovel like this much snow in order to get my car in. It was terrible. And I was crying. I was crying about half an hour in. I was like, I've had enough of this. And I cried like a baby. Oh, right. My ward saying, put your shoulder to the wheel. I forgot about that. The crunching of the footsteps. It's not when you're like a minus 45. Okay, that is, okay, isn't it? It ends up matching. Yeah, it ends up matching when you get to a certain level. Minus 45 degrees Celsius is minus 49 Fahrenheit. Does that sound right? minus 40 is equal to minus 40. Yeah, I knew somewhere to get it gets to be the same. It's freaking cold is what it is. Yeah, see? Minus 60 sucks. The first year I was here, I think I would have been 19. And my brother-in-law, it was so cold outside. I think it was minus 40, minus 50, one of the things. And my car at the time had a flat tire. So my brother-in-law is like, "You're on the side of the road, Linda. What are you going to do?" I said, "I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lift my pant leg a little bit. I'm going to hitch a ride, and I'm not going to be a minus 40. That's what I'm going to do." Did I hear that Chad had a perfect SAT score? I really find that hard to believe. I don't know. I didn't hear that actually. That's interesting. I think Chad, this isn't Chad's first rodeo. I think he's unalived people before. See, it's cold. It is freaking cold. It's terrible. Um, I don't wish that upon anybody. Did I? I don't even know if I took pictures last year, but I probably took pictures of the snow and I was miserable. I should be, Linda should be in a nice little tropical getaway during, oh, I don't know, the months of October till June. And then come back. You know, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Let's see if I can find you guys a snow picture because it's ridiculous and you guys will be feeling sad. Because no human being should have to go through that. I don't know if I took it because I was probably pretty upset about the snow. So I might not have. So you don't get the beautiful winter picture. But I will this year, I will make sure to take a picture and show you guys so that you can feel, part of the misery that I'm in. And you could go, "Oh, Linda's upset. I wonder why." No, we know why. Yeah, I don't think I have it. The best part is, okay, let me see. I don't know why I want to show you pictures of snow. Is that funny or not funny? I'm going to take pictures for you this year. I would love to come to Rio de Janeiro. That'd be beautiful. Craziest thing about being a cold weather Canadian is we go from minus 40 before wind chill to 90 or 100 degrees in summer. So we have like a 140-degree temp swing. Well, Calgary is very much like that because we get these things called Chinooks. And so it'll be plus 30 one day, which for you guys would be 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it'll drop to below zero within a day. We have quite a few Canadians here tonight, don't we? I live in the deep country, although in the south, but our rare snowstorm was kind of freaky. The moon reflected off the white snow and was so silent other than the branches breaking, echoing. This sounds about right. I only like snow and Hallmark movies. Yeah, that's about all it needs to be is right there. Ex-classmate and professional football player talked about Chad on Lauren and Dr. John's channel. Cool. Yeah, I did a video about Chad and the not so well known details. And one of them was that he used to kill bees as a child. And he also wrote a murder mystery type thing. I think he was in grade 4 that he wrote about it. It's interesting. I'm 3 hours east of Winnipeg. Last week was 12 for a few days and 35. Yesterday and today, tornado warnings. Yeah, it's was 4 I think today, and then it got to 20, which for Americans that would be about 70. So I don't know why all of a sudden my throat's getting. Maybe I haven't talked like this much for a while. All right, you guys. What else? I'll stay about 5 more minutes and then I need to get some other things done for the evening. Canada does get tornadoes, yep. We'll do more. We'll do more lives. I would like to do some guests. I've been inviting some. We'll see who will accept the invitations and come on. And if you have any ideas or there's ones that you watch that you would like um, for me to collab, you could always mention it to them or mention it to me, and we'll see what we could do. Yeah, with or without guests, but sometimes nice with guests as well. My editor is actually away until the 24th, so another week. I could do some of the editing myself, but it takes so much longer. But I'm always working on some sort of video. Did I invite John Pryor? So, John, tell me about lipidity and how serious is lipidity? Dr. John would be great, yes. I think Victoria meant, did I invite John Pryor? uh, so, John, I just want to know about the lipidity and I'd like to know about rigor mortis. And, like, that sounds really serious. I do belong at the beach. Thank you for being here, you guys. Could you? That would be spicy. How long? We would have. Okay, wait. I would have to lose the tomato. We could have a tomato meter. see how I see how red he would get. And his blood pressure would climb and climb and climb because I'd be asking some questions. The worst he could say is no. Could you imagine? I should ask John Pryor for an interview. I don't know. It would be interesting. He'd have a lot to say, I'm sure. Laura likes the tomato meter. We would just match it. Like, it would start off like with a light pink, and then would just go a little more red, more red, more red, more red, and then we could just gauge it. And we'll just put it beside, like, as we have the interview. I'm pretty sure he watched my videos during trial because if we rewind to the very beginning when they were doing jury selection, I would bring stuff up. And did you notice the next day he would like not mention or change his tune? Do you remember that? There were some weird things. So the first time I didn't think anything of it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I mentioned that yesterday. He's not doing it now. And like, there's a couple things. So I think he was watching. Oh. The tomato meter. Hi, John Pryor. This is Linda with It's a Crime. I'm just wondering if you'd be open and willing to come uh, on my channel. However, I would strongly suggest that you don't watch any of the previous footage before you come on. We just really would like to get a natural reaction from you. Oh, that would not be good. I'd have to invite some other backup, like, your guys' favorite detective, Detective Hermosillo. And then I'll invite him with John. It'll be a little bit better. I think he was watching. That would have been nice. It was so busy during trial. What was I? I was streaming 5 to 7 hours a day for 8 weeks. And it would have been nice to have done a better job at tracking it. If I could have tracked it, went back and tracked the things and then show where we think he was watching, that would have been pretty sweet. Yeah, just nothing to see here. Just ignore the chat too, John. That would be great. Just nothing to see here, John Pryor. Nothing to see. We need to hide the tomato emoji. Oh, Hermosillo, we miss you too. Yeah, hey John, did you ever figure out how big your house was or if there was an upstairs? I would probably end, okay, like on a talk show, I would probably end it like at the end of the night and be like, now, John, we'd just like to go through some highlight reels, if you will. I don't know, John, you own it. You tell me how big it is. And do the highlight reel, like John's biggest hits. And that'd be good too. Oh, you'd be surprised. I do have poker face. Just not on not on here. Maybe with men I do. Yeah, I I did a video um when was that? Last week? September 10th. Last week. I did a video on Chad and John Pryor. It's right there. I just put that in. Linda, if John comes on, we'll all be good kids and then we can talk about him later. Could you imagine? Yeah, check it out. Please check it out if you can. I added a couple things in there about the house and about the appeal that they're going for. So if you haven't been able to see it, check that out. Maybe I can hook Sarah up with John. Sorry for coughing in your guys' ear all the time. Mel says, I don't promise to behave. No way. Well, that would be interesting. I wonder if he'd come on. Um, where'd this go? A couple bought the Daybell House of Horrors and want to build a community building there instead. They want to take it down. They bought it. They want to take the house down and the outbuildings and then rebuild with a healing place. Linda could say, and now will you answer questions in the chat, John Pryor? John Mado, I mean John Pryor. Hello, Nance. Nice to see you. He is kind of a celebrity in his own right in this channel. We've been following him for 4 years. Hey? I mean, the amount of stuff that he has done. Quite honestly, Judge. He gets so riled up. The Mado-meter. Now, John, we have this thing called the Mado-meter. Don't worry about that. That's going to be off to the side. You may find at times you look similar to the coloring on that. Just again, don't pay attention to that. But it is called a Mado-meter, and don't worry, the viewers will be watching for it. Hey, nice to see you. I hope I'm not getting sick. I genuinely don't get how removing the house and buildings will fix the land. The land needs a proper native ritualistic smudging guidance. Yeah, there's a lot of things that needs. I don't know. The news was reporting that the victims' families were on board, but then I had some comments saying that they're not. So I don't know any more about that, but if you guys know, you can let me know too. The Mado-meter just helps us know when you're ripe. Right? I've been working with lawyers for 36 years, and he's always made me wonder why he looked one way at jury and spoke to witnesses the other way. Oh, he was even flirting. Linda's facial expressions not matching our chats is great to me. What is that? That's funny. Hello, nice to see you. I think that set most women over the edge was Tammy's size harping. He couldn't read the room. Yeah, he had a couple of comments, and then he was talking about her condition of being anemic. There's some things that came out of him is just like, wow. My face keeps freezing. That's so annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. Might have to do a little upgrade again. You know, after some time, I don't know how it is in the United States, but here, over time, you can upgrade your router. Maybe I have to do that. Yesterday, was 2 years since I moved, which is crazy. I split from Mr. Linda 2 years ago in June, and September 16th, 2 years ago, is when I moved. Isn't that crazy? It's been a crazy 2 years. I know. Over 2 years since I moved. And the same kind of life situation in the 2 years. Time has really flown. Like 2 years is crazy to me. Nice to see you, Robert. Been a while. Yeah, thank you. 2 years it's moved. It's been weird. It's been a big giant learning lesson the last couple years. And we'll see what 2025 brings. You sound sad. Don't be sad. You're loved by all of us. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a obstacle for the last couple of years, but sound is extremely low. Might be just me having a low moment. I'm usually not quiet. Anybody here know me being quiet? Well, what next, you guys? So most of you say you're diving into Maddie Soto. Um, I have a couple theory videos I would like to put out. I've worked on that. Just something different. Always working on a video of some sort, even if it seems quiet. I'm working in behind the scenes to put together something hopefully you will like. Oh, Laura, thank you. Oh yeah, the dating is it's interesting. Dating is interesting in this world. This is my full-time job. Um it's my full-time job. Does Hermosillo have a brother? I don't know. Oh, look at Charles. Does Hermosillo have a brother? Cousin, uncle? Yeah, I think I'm getting there. No cute firefighter. No, my ex-husband's a medic. I'm not going to the those kinds of no more emergency responders. Oh, I haven't seen this one. The one case about the little 9-year-old that was missing 30 years ago and it's all coming out now. Oh, I haven't seen that. Haven't seen that. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm a long-term relationship with books. I do read a lot of books as well. I have a feeling a lot of my viewers like reading books. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's a full time for sure. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. That helps a lot. Oh, I saw that headline too. The businessman that had 72 men sleep with his drugged wife. I saw that. I saw little headlines of it. I didn't go down the rabbit hole though. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you. Or lawyers? Okay, noted. Sounding to start to sound like Linda's dating service. Nope. I'm quickly learning that it's not the way to go. So, it's okay. I should just focus on my videos anyway. A Sunflower Day says, "Hi, it's a crime. Thank you for your video. I'm behind playing catch up. Just a heads up that I do get frozen in the video. Not like Elsa, but I don't know, maybe." Oh, you do read books. I'm definitely a book reader. I do love romance novels. I love Joanna Lindsay. She's my favorite. Awesome. I like reading self-development books. I've been doing that for, oh my gosh, like I want to say 25 years or maybe more. Yeah, I get into all those things. Well, my kid is a roommate. I don't know. My older son has a girlfriend now. I did meet her. So I'm pretty happy about that. My oldest son's going to be 22, which is crazy, and he has a girlfriend, and I like her. And he treats his girlfriend like how he should be teaching. He should teach the 40 some odd year old man how to treat a girlfriend. Just saying. I read thrillers and detective novels and mysteries. See, for me now, because I go down all these rabbit holes, I don't read thrillers and detective novels and all. I used to love that, but now it's like I just, I kind of want to watch a comedy. I know my little boy found a girlfriend. It's so cute. She's so cute. And they have the same birthday, which is crazy to me. She's a couple years younger, and it's so cute. So I'm happy that he's happy, she's happy, they're happy. My son is 24 and his girlfriend of 5 years I've never met. He's waiting. My daughter, 25, just got engaged. Yes, I met him for years and happy. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm super happy for him, and he hasn't really had a girlfriend. I mean, he kind of has, but not really. And this is his first serious girlfriend. Like, I could tell he's serious. But I just looked at him like, I don't need to be a grandma. Okay, so I don't need to be a grandma for quite a few years. So just so you know. Hi. I know, isn't this cool? Oh, wow, a shared birthday is so cool. And so I asked her, I said, well, what do you like to have to eat for your birthday? Like, because I could take you guys out for dinner. And she likes Italian food, which is what my son likes on their birthday. They both always ask for Italian food on their birthday. I thought that was cute too. Like, of course you do. Wow, I'm planning on downsizing. I need to sort my books. Think I have about 3,000. Wow, that's a lot of books. Watch Cutie Slickers and City Slickers too. Oh, City Slickers. I forgot about that. That's a long time ago. I forgot about City Slickers. I know, right? Well, this is okay. I can't tell you guys what. Okay, I gotta wait till after because if my son's watching, then he knows what his gift's gonna be from her. And he can't. But this is awesome. She has a great personality, so it's like I can't wait for him to open up his gift from her. It's so good. Three women in my life, all with the same birthday. That's crazy. Thank you. Oh, my sister's calling. Okay, hang on. Just hang on. I got a letter. Hey, can I call you right back? Okay, I'm just on my live stream, so I'll be off in a couple of minutes. Okay, bye. My sister made a debut. If I don't answer, then she's gonna keep calling. I am. I'll be on live again. Did I ever have Chad's neighbor on? I did not. My birthday used to be a week apart from my ex-husband. He it was his birthday, then my birthday, then it was our anniversary. I love the lives too. You guys are awesome. It's so nice. Sister sounds hot. Oh, I'll let her know that. She gets to go to Aruba while I'm staying in the snow. Okay. So, thank you for joining me tonight. Been a couple hours of chit chat. We're going to do more of these. If you know of somebody who wants to collab, let me know. Or have some a contact info or something to make life easier for me to contact them. I welcome it, so I appreciate it. And there are people who pay to come enjoy the snow. Yeah, I don't know. Not for me. You guys made my night too. I'm so happy you guys are here. Um, we need to do this more. And Sarah Boone in a couple weeks, we got to do that together. I'll figure out we'll all figure out an emoji because that could be shared. I hope it's going to be properly televised and that I can put it on here because if I can, I will. I was going to do, or I thought I could do a couple weeks ago with Corey Richens, but I wasn't able to. So yeah, everybody's so awesome here. And some nights it can get really, really, really busy in here. So we'll do that. So hopefully we'll get more um, live streams in. And as I said, my editor is away. So this should be interesting the next week to have some videos. And we'll do some live streams. I'm hoping I've been doing some invites for guests. So hopefully we can have them on. And and we'll just go from there. You take care of you guys too. Okay? Well, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video and the next live stream. Please check out my videos. Just have a little look at my channel. See if there's anything you missed in the last little bit. I know sometimes you don't always get notified, so I would appreciate if you do have a look. And check out Elijah Vu case that I have the details on. Sadly, he's been found deceased, but at least the family can get some closure and hopefully it'll point the fingers back to people who there'll be justice. So good night, everyone. Love you so much. Talk to you later. Thanks again.